What's going on, everyone? This is Barles, and welcome back to a NFL preview video. I said this would be out, and here we are. We are recording this video as I'm watching the Premier League soccer, so we'll get this stuck straight into action. First of all, I'll go through the first game that was already in play, which was the Carolina Panthers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you can see, it was a bit of a thrashing. Steelers obviously scoring 52 points to Panthers 21. I watched the game, and yeah, Steelers dominated from pretty much once they scored their first touchdown. Panthers saw the first touchdown in the game, and I thought this might be a bit of a shootout, but it didn't turn out to be the case. Steelers actually went and comprehensively won that game with Big Ben Roethlisberger playing really well and pivotal role, and a typical AB performance. James Conner played well until he got concussion, and yeah. Carolina don't have a lot outside of Cam Newton, Greg Olsen, and Christian McCaffrey, which they can't keep relying on the three if they're going to win more games. So that was how that one ended up. Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears is starting off with all the Sunday games. I think the Chicago Bears will win that game. Chicago Bears are probably the best defense in the league this season, and Detroit are struggling. Matt Stafford is not really doing what he's been doing the last few years, so I don't expect Detroit to go to Chicago and get a win out of there, but you never know. But I've gone for Chicago in that one. New Orleans Saints against Cincinnati Bengals. You can't go against the New Orleans Saints. They beat the Rams last week, the first team in the league to beat them. They've got fantastic offense. Obviously, they signed Des Bryant. He did his Achilles 2 days into his contract with them, unfortunately, so we're not going to see Des play for a team this season. But I think New Orleans Saints have got a lot of firepower to still deal with that. They were able to deal. He hadn't played a game for them, and yet they still look at how they were doing. So with Des in the side, they could have been anything. They could have been probably Super Bowl favourites, but unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. But I think that I expect them to get a win against Cincinnati, who are banged up a bit. They've got a few of their key players out. AJ Green won't be playing in this game. Obviously, the top receiver, so that means that Tyler Boyd will have to go to number 1, meaning that John Ross will have to go to number 2 wide receiver. So I don't expect the Bengals to win, but it is a home game for them, so they have got a bit of a chance. But I expect New Orleans to get the job done there. Atlanta Falcons against Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have showed signs this season that they can play some good football, but Atlanta have looked like the better offense and the more settled offense. Tevin Coleman's doing a great job at running back in for Devontae Freeman, who's been injured pretty much all season. So I expect Atlanta to go to Cleveland and get the win in that game there. Jacksonville Jaguars against Indianapolis Colts. I expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to win, but that depends if what Blake Bortles is going to show up. Is Blake Bortles the good quarterback going to show up, or is a crap Blake Bortles quarterback going to show up? We don't know, but I expect Jacksonville to win. Their defense is better. Andrew Luck has been doing some good things with the offense, and Marlon Mack's been very, very good for the last couple of games. More people have gone for Indianapolis, but I think that Jacksonville should get back to winning ways. Leonard Fournette will be back, which is great because I love watching him play, so good to see him back. And hopefully stay fit for the rest of the season would be nice. But I expect Jacksonville to get the win because they are definitely a better side with Leonard Fournette in the side. Arizona Cardinals against Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City for me all day. Can't really see anything else other than the Kansas City win here. Mahomes has continued on from what he's been like all season. Touchdown machine. They got such a high-powered offense with Kelsey, Hunt, Hill. There's way too many big names there, I think, for the Cardinals defense to deal with. Even though the Cardinals defense has been good this season, I don't expect them to get a win in this game coming up. Buffalo Bills playing against the New York Jets. I expect New York Jets to win this game. I know that you can't, as a team, keep going through quarterback changes after change after change after change and expect to get results. They've got Buffalo Bills gone from Nathan Peterman to Derek Anderson. I think they've now got a guy called Barkley coming in for his first game for the team this week. You can't keep chopping and changing, otherwise the offense isn't going to get settled and get that continuity. So I don't expect Bills to win this game. I expect New York to be able to get a result here, and I think that they'll get that result this weekend. Washington Redskins against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I kind of expect... I've gone for Tampa Bay being at home. I think Tampa Bay will get the job done. I think that Washington got way too many players out. Paul Richardson's out. Jamison Crowder's out. So a few wide receivers down. They're going to be relying on Alex Smith, Adrian Peterson, and Maurice Harris, who came out of nowhere last week for over 100 yards. So I expect Tampa Bay to get the job done, even though their defence is shocking. I just think their offense can score more points than what Washington can. So that's what I think will probably happen in that game. But a lot of people have gone for Washington. I think that with Washington having a lot of wide receivers being out and not as many weapons, I think that the Bucs should get the job done in that game. New England Patriots playing against Tennessee Titans. New England Patriots for me. Tennessee have been way too up and down with their form. You don't know what Tennessee are going to get, what Mariota are going to get. A bit like Jacksonville, so I don't really see anything in the Patriots win here. Even though Gronkowski has been ruled out again for another game, I'm glad I didn't draft him in many leagues straight away because he's been really inconsistent this season, which is certainly unlike Gronk, that's for sure. But they've got too many offensive weapons. Patriots, like you see, Sony Michel out 1 week. James White comes into a full-time role, does really, really well. Cordarrelle Patterson comes in as a running back, does really well. But Sony Michel should be out this week, so it's another one. But I think that they'll get the job done against Tennessee over there. LA Chargers against the Raiders, Oakland Raiders. I expect the LA Chargers to get the job done, just purely because they're a better team. Raiders are shambles. They're not too great. I thought they might have been improved this season, but obviously Beast, Marshawn Lynch being out, don't really see them putting up too much against the Chargers, so I expect Chargers to get the job done, that one. Miami Dolphins against Green Bay Packers. Miami have been good this season. They've been good defense. Not as good offensively, but their defense has been able to keep teams to very low scores, which means the offense hasn't had to do as much. But I expect Green Bay to win. Any team with Aaron Rodgers always stands a chance against any team in the NFL. But I expect Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to get the job done against Miami. Yep. Next game, Seattle Seahawks against LA Rams. Again, LA Rams for me, a lot better offense than what Seattle has. Seattle have been good with what they've been limited to this season, but I think that LA Rams should get the job done. They're the best team in the NFL, in my opinion, probably just ahead of the Saints, but still, Rams for me to win that game in probably a little bit more of a higher scoring affair. I think Seattle will still score some points, but I think Rams will be able to outscore them. Saturday Night Football we move up to. Dallas Cowboys playing against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. And I expect a Philly win in this one. I just think Philly got a better and a more settled side than what Dallas have. Dallas can be very, again, a bit like a few of the other teams, up and down depending on how Dak Prescott is going. I expect the Cowboys to put a bit of a fight, but I don't see anything other than a Philadelphia win in this one. I think as well Golden Tate signing for them. It's another really, really good offensive weapon for Carson Wentz there. He's now got Ertz, Golden Tate, and Alshon Jeffrey as well. And he's also got Nelson Aguilar as well. So he's got a lot of good offensive weapons there now. I think Golden Tate just puts an extra mark on that offense to become even better. So I think the Eagles in that one. And for the final game of the week, Monday Night Football, New York Giants against San Francisco 49ers. And I see a New York Giants win, even though it's away. I think the Giants should get the job done purely because I think that their players are better. I think Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham Jr., Sterling Shepard, Evan Engram are better than what San Francisco got. But Nick Mullens did really well last week in his debut, so you never know, he could pull up another win for them, and more people have gone for San Francisco. So I've gone for a few roughies this week, just purely because a few of the results I think not all the favourites generally win. So I've gone for a few different ones here. So obviously being the Jaguars, the Bucks, and the Giants as my three differentials. So that's it for the preview. I've gone through all the games, so it's generally what means it's the end of the video. Thank you for joining me. If you've watched it, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't. All that good stuff. I'll be back with the Manchester United review probably later on today, because as you see at the clock's 2:01 a.m. in the morning. I'll be with the Manchester United review hopefully later on today, if not tomorrow. Hopefully previewing a win or a draw at least. If it's a loss, then I'll still preview it anyway. Maybe a FIFA video come out later in the week. Maybe a Madden video. Maybe Call of Duty video. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I'll let you guys know what happens with everything anyway. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Cheers.